Are you ready for some extreme wrestling? Yes, guys, we've a lot of action tonight on All Elite Wrestling. We even have the return of Miro. He's back with a steel cage match, with a no holds barred match, with betrayals, with returns, with Christian Cage cutting a decent promo, with everything. But we may as well just kick off this show where it did begin. It is the 10th of May 2023 edition of the big TV show that's called Dynamite, brother. We do have Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and the Human Suplex Machine Taz on commentary. Now, in the main event, we did have Daniel Bryan, but I guess we'll get to that a wee bit later on. But we kick off. We had a double Jeopardy match. We have ROH World Champion Claudio Castagnoli taking on AEW World Tag Team Champion Rey Fenix. Yeah, you may be wondering what's double Jeopardy, but the double Jeopardy is if you lose, you earn a shot at the opponent's title. So obviously if Claudio wins, he gets a tag title shot. If Rey Fenix wins, he gets an ROH World title shot. I'll say ROH World title. I mean, it does not. I mean, they're calling Claudio, right, a world champion, and who the fuck? Nobody cares, man. Honestly. Oh, but he's a champion. He's a champion. Not a fucking hope in hell, guys. Is Claudio Ragnelli a world champion, right? But we cut backstage with Daniel Bryan and Wheeler Yuta watching this match on the monitor. I'm sitting here trying not to fucking fall asleep on Thursday morning, but it is what it is. But eventually, Claudio hits Rey Fenix with his some bomb, I can't remember. He pins him 1, 2, 3. Claudio and the Blackpool Combat Club have earned themselves a title opportunity for the tag titles. Then we have Renee Paquette backstage, and then who walks past her? Miro. Miro is back. Yeah, she tries to interview him, but he's just not exactly feeling it, so he just power walks into Tony Khan's office. Where's this sad song going to go? Not really too sure, but I guess it is what it is, and we'll eventually see where it leads to. He's back, of course. There's talk of AEW doing the whole draft situation now. I don't really know what that could possibly mean, because the company's a mess. I don't know if they're going to copy what WWE did. We may have fit about that yesterday, so if you want to go check that out. But yeah, this Miro, whatever, Rusev, I think you should go back to WWE. His AEW run's been a fucking mess. Broken games consoles. What? He's just lucky he's got a wife like Lana. That's all I'm saying. MJF then cuts a promo backstage, says that he's basically like the Beatles. He says that he is in fact Paul McCartney. He says, I am your AW World Champion and my reign of terror has just begun. I mean, how long's he been World Champion now? 6 months? Or was it less than that? It was last year he won it, wasn't it? So, who really knows? AW World Tag Team Champions come out. Wait, hold on. AW World... Rey Fenix. It says he was the... I'm so confused. I don't know what belt Rey Fenix has, guys. It's out to ROH tag titles. I don't really give a shit. Basically, FTR came out and they respond to the challenge from Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. They basically say, we'll accept your challenge if you guys admit to using Mark Briscoe to get to us. And then Dut's like, he's our friend. And then Mark Briscoe comes out to the ramp with a microphone. And this is just horrendous. He says he's going to be the special guest referee. Fuck this guy, right? Absolutely fuck Mark Briscoe. His brother died, and it's the only reason he's getting a push. Now, he may be saying, what, it's about Extreme 7 foot, but he's a bum, he's pish. He says that John Laurinaitis says he wasn't pleasing on the eye for WWE to hire him. They don't fucking wonder. He looks like a hillbilly that smokes meth. The difference is he probably smokes fucking meth. So yeah, he's going to be the special guest referee about this match. Who cares? Jericho's interviewed backstage. He's basically just moaning about Adam Cole, saying that this is an unsafe work environment. He says he's got a court order. He says if he's in the arena, Adam Cole is banned. What in the name of fuck is going on here? Jericho, the guy that beat The Rock and Austin in the same night, has got a court order to have Adam Cole banned for the arena if Jericho's there. This is just horrendous, honestly. This is just absolutely horrendous, man. Just absolutely horrendous, and the show just gets fucking worse after this point, if I'm being honest. Roderick Strong comes out, speaks to Jericho, basically says, right, you big man, false count anywhere match next week. Jericho accepts this, so Jericho's willing to have a false count anywhere match against Roderick Strong next week, right? But he's too afraid of Adam Cole being in the building because of unsafe work environment. What about is a false count anywhere not unsafe, Jericho? It's just contradicting, man. I love when wrestling had fucking logic and storylines. But what's this? This is pish. Renee Paquette trying to interview Tony Khan, but then out steps Thunder Rosa. She's back. She goes into Tony Khan's office and she says, seems like a good night to talk to Pappy Khan. Aye. Pappy Khan. That's who we're talking to tonight, Pappy Khan. And then we go to commercial break. We come back for commercial break. Thunder Rosa has left Tony Khan's office for whatever. I doubt she was doing any sexual favours because we know what way Tony Khan swings. Rusev was probably giving him the USSR slam. But anyway, Tony Khan says he's got a major announcement. He says, I'd like everyone to stay tuned next week on Dynamite for a huge announcement. Thank you. Is this all this guy's fucking got, man? There's no storylines. It's just, here, I have a huge announcement next week, and it's pish. The announcements are absolute shite. Like, honestly, oh man. Like, some announcements haven't been bad, right? But when you say every announcement is a huge announcement, no, it just waters down all of them. Like, sometimes he would say, oh, we're going to... huge announcement, we're going to have an ROH match tonight. And then like he'd be like, huge announcement with CM Punk's return, or huge announcement, we're going to Wembley in August. What's this all about though? What's this announcement going to be? I think it's going to be the draft, personally. And with AEW International Championship match on the line next, we've freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy taking on the Jericho Appreciation Society's Daniel Garcia. Orange Cassidy defeats Garcia. We move on. Like, it's true. See these people that say Jericho isn't putting any of these guys over? Like, you're absolutely right. Look at Garvera, a bum. He could be getting a match against MJF. Who gives a fuck? Look at this Danny Garcia guy. See, like 6 months ago, this guy was like pushed as like, yeah, man, I'm professional wrestling. I'm not a sports entertainer. Then he was like a sports entertainer because he jobbed out Daniel Bryan in a storyline that made no sense. They made him flip. Did a Big Show heel face turn, man. And it absolutely sucked. And then you look at Action Andretti, another guy, Orange Cassidy, all these bums, man, that Jericho claims he got over, but in reality got them nowhere near over. He got them over as a bus off a fucking cliff. Dead. That's it. Christian comes out with Luchasaurus, basically says, that basically just runs down Wardlow, and the enforcer Arn Anderson says, I would talk about your dad, Wardlow, but your dad is a fucking absolute jobber and he's not relevant, so I'm not going to speak about him. And then he says about Arn Anderson, he's like, how many world titles have you won, Arn? And Arn Anderson has not won any titles, so that's kind of funny. We then cut to Darby Allin backstage training for Double or Nothing. He's like, I'm going to Double or Nothing to become world champion. I don't know. I don't even know what the match is. Double or Nothing. I just said it might be Guevara. What is the world title picture on this show? Because it's like 1 week you'll have them all feuding, then the next week none of them are on the fucking show. So what is it? I don't know. Next up, we have a no holds barred match taking on Jericho Appreciation Society, Anna J.S. taking on the House of Blacks, Julia Hart, Briscoe Helper. They used to be best friends. Did they, mate? All you need to know is this match was horrendous, and then basically it ends with Julia Hart doing a suplex off the top rope, and Anna is supposed to hit the steel chairs, nowhere near the steel chairs, but they're like, oh, her lower body hit the chairs. Her heel might have skimmed the chair that was closest to her, when in reality it was nowhere fucking near. So yeah, who cares? We move on. We have the world titles, the trios on the line here. We have the House of Black. Well, it's an open house match, whatever that means. We've the House of Black taking on Bandido and the Best Friends. I do not care. I honestly do not care. Brody picks up the win. He defeats Dante. No, he doesn't. He defeats Chuck Taylor. And he pins him. Orange Cassidy gets battered backstage, and then Kyle Fletcher basically calls him out. Kyle Fletcher for Aussie Open. Who's Aussie Open? Who's Kyle Fletcher? I don't know, guys. That's just the result. I don't know who this guy is. But it's main event time, right? And you can bury AEW, but a steel cage match between Omega and Moxley, that's a decent enough main event. You know, I hate Omega, I hate Moxley, but I guess the way AEW's pushed them, you know, they are their main eventers, so to speak. So you could be excited with this. Moxley and Omega come out. Omega comes out with Don Callis. There's a few moves in this. You've got Glass, you've barbed wire, there's blood. I mean, I would have bet my absolute life that Moxley was going to get busted open in this match, and of course he did. He gets busted open with the glass, he gets busted open with the barbed wire, his forehead's bleeding. Omega does a feed trigger, knees him right in the face. Moxley flies through the cage, but in this one it's only pinfall. Like, but the way Omega lands, his balls like hit like the cage because it like splits in half. And this guy mustn't have a dick or any balls because he just does not sell this. Like, this looked like it would actually hurt, not like kayfabe. Like, it looks like he's hit the feed trigger and then landed with his full body weight on the steel cage. Again, he must have a camel toe or something because I don't understand this. But Jon Moxley, they get back into the ring. It looks like Omega is going to win here. But then Don Callis comes into the ring. You think, right, what's he doing? It's so obvious what he's doing because Omega is the guy with all the momentum here. Like, you've got Jon Moxley battered and Omega's in the ring standing tall. Why would Don Callis be coming in when his guy is standing tall? Yeah, but then Don Callis grabs the screwdriver, cracks Omega in the forehead. 1, 2, 3. Jon Moxley wins. Oh yeah, this whole screwdriver. And then after the match is Don Callis like just looking at Omega. And he's holding the screwdriver and Omega like lies down, battered and defeated. It's like, why are they making Don Callis look like Brock Lesnar here? Honestly, I do not get this, if I'm being honest. But yeah, the King of Violence, Jon Moxley, has won that match, says Danielson. He was on commentary, he was a fan of that. But that is the way the show ended, guys. Not exactly spectacular by any means at Dynamite, so in other words, it was shite. The main event, I mean, blood is so overdone in AEW. All these hardcore spots are so overdone, especially with like Moxley and Omega. It seems like they're the only two that did it. See if it was like, I don't know, like, it was just like CM Punk against like MJF or like CM Punk and Sting, it would just feel better, but these two seem to be the only two that fucking whip out these stuff. So yeah, it sucked. I'm going to give this show a 1 out of 10. Don Callis betrayed him and it was so fucking obvious it was going to happen. So until next time, peace.